Hello and welcome to the CNBC TV 18 Overdrive Awards 2015 jury round being held here in a sunny Chennai. That's what actually I was hoping for, but it's got overcast skies. Nonetheless, it's a perfect day to test and evaluate all the new cars and motorcycles launched in 2014. Now, 2014 was a terribly slow year for most manufacturers because of a steep dip in volume sales and profitability. Nonetheless, it was a terribly exciting year as well because of the sheer number of cars and motorcycles and scooters launched that year. But before I lead you into the nominations that are fighting it out for the Car of the Year award, let me introduce you to the jury.
Hari Singh, Overdrive's close ally for many years now, is a 5-time Indian National Rally champion and an automotive consultant to manufacturers. Gaurav Gill is the only Indian to have won an International Rallying Championship when he won the Asia Pacific Rally Championship in 2013. He is also a multiple Indian National Rally and Racing champion. Bob Rupani is Overdrive's consulting editor and a renowned author who has written many automotive and travelling books. Bertrand D'Souza is the editor of Overdrive and has been involved with the Overdrive brand for 15 years, during which he has test-driven some of the most exclusive automobiles in the world. Hali Prabhakar is Overdrive's road test editor and has the distinction of testing each and every car and bike that was launched in India over the past couple of years. These 5 gentlemen had the enviable task of putting 16 cars launched this year through a grueling test on the Chennai racetrack.
Maruti Celerio has been a surprise mover in the Indian market. It really invigorated the segment and rather the market in whole simply because of the AMD transmission that it offered out. It was a game changer when it came to the market and introduced the convenience of an automatic transmission to a whole lot of Indians who are now looking at this with a lot of pleasure, with a lot of interest.
AMD is typical Indian jugaad. Gear shift on their own at a low cost. You really don't have an automatic transmission, you got an automatic gear shifter. Wonderful, typical Indian jugaad. I think it works very well.
I quite enjoy driving the Celerio. I think it's a fantastic car for city roads, and Maruti, I would love to own one of those.
Alto K10, I think again, great vehicle, first time users, entry level vehicle, improved over the last one, highest selling car in India. What can you say about it? Good job.
Definitely more efficient engines, a better cabin, lovely interiors and better drive and handling and dynamics as well. And then there's of course that AMD which you get in the Alto as well, which makes a lot of sense for the Indian consumer. So yes, it's a good car, brilliant package, another strong contender for the awards.
They got 3.15 lakhs. It's a great entry-level car. Very basic, but great after sales. You know you're buying a product that you will be able to keep for a long time, and Maruti has a reputation to give excellent service.
In the hatchback segment, if there is one car that has been a game changer, it's definitely the Hyundai i20. They have raised the entire segment to a whole new level.
The styling is sharp, very good looking, interior space, excellent, diesel engine, wow, really refined, good to drive, overall an excellent vehicle.
To drive, the car has improved upon the previous i20. Previous i20 is known for its softer dynamics. The new i20 is slightly better, and I think that's the right way forward for Hyundai.
Datsun Go is a great small package. It's got a really good seat position. The engine's the big strong point of the car. It's got great suspension. I think it will suit the Indian roads very well, but it doesn't really have great tires to match with the suspension. which I don't really know why. Apart from that, I think it's a great entry-level hatchback.
Gear lever position up on the dash is a fantastic, gives you very sporty feel. A lot of roll was experienced, and otherwise it's pretty much basic. Like it's got bench seats up in front and lots of pockets all over the place to put stuff around.
Coming up, all the sedans nominated for the Car of the Year award. Welcome back, you're watching Overdrive. Now let's take a look at some of the sedans nominated for the Car of the Year award.
Basically, the Hyundai Accent is on the same platform as the i10, and last year it was quite a hot item as far as the jurors are concerned. So they've added the boot to it. So in all, practicality has improved.
A comfortable car, a nice car to drive in urban conditions as well as out on the highways, and fantastic refinement, both the petrol and diesel options. They've got fantastic refinement to offer to a consumer.
India's done a good job by incorporating a boot and still keeping it under 4 meters. I think it's a good overall proportionate design.
The Honda City is one of the strongest contenders for the CNBC TV18 Overdrive Car of the Year award, simply because it's a fantastic package overall. Good ride quality, decent handling, but that space management inside that cabin is just fantastic.
The Honda City in its newer generation, quite impressive. It kind of takes forward whatever the city is good at, good engines, good to drive. And this new City also offers a diesel engine which we drove around the racetrack.
Honda City, amazing passenger compartment. What use of space. Everything else fine apart from the diesel engine. Not as refined as you'd like. Otherwise, brilliant car. Overall package, wonderful. Maruti Suzuki CS, I think a great effort by the company. Lots of features, nice interior, good looking car, spacious. Engine, drivability, I think the gear ratios, engine are perfectly matched. Ideal for Indian driving conditions.
It's got the most efficient diesel engine available in the country today. Around about 26 kilometers per litre is a very, very strong claim to have. And of course, then there's that the dynamics of that car. It's just such a nice car to drive.
The Ciaz has its competition with the Verna and the Honda City, I would say. And price-wise, I think it beats the competition. And I think overall also I'd go for the Ciaz in that segment.
The Zest, I think, is the best car from Tata so far. It's a big leap forward compared to its predecessors.
Great engine, great package overall, fantastic interiors, great styling on the outside. As a sedan, that car is practical, usable, convenient, and well, just built right for the Indian consumer.
Huge improvement over everything Tata has made before. The only thing which hasn't changed is the driving position and the seats.
It's dynamic, it's fun to drive, it's just brilliant all over. And it's got this fabulous automatic with paddle shifts. It's sporty, it's elegant, it's comfortable, it's dynamic. Everything that you want in a mid-size luxury sedan, it's right there in the Corolla.
Difficult to believe it's a Corolla. It's improved so much. drives really nice, great all-round comfort, great driving. I mean, it's fun to drive. A Corolla, fun to drive. I never thought I'd say that.
The handling around the track was fantastic. The automatic gearbox performed very well. Downshifts, upshift, pedal shift, it had it all. The interiors were again, a lot better than what I expected from Toyota. I mean, they were actually a little more classy and, felt rich inside.
The Audi A3 has been a surprise package for 2014 because it's the premium car available at a very affordable price point. At an entry price point, it's a fantastic way to step into the luxury segment. It's got several of those characteristics that you'd look for in an Audi.
Yeah, the A3 felt fantastic on track. Handled it brilliantly. It was a point-and-shoot kind of steering that you could use with it.
I would have liked the A3 to offer a lot more knee room in the back. A lot of Indians, especially people who are buying this kind of a car, like a lot more space in the back. And I think the A3 doesn't offer a lot more compared to, say, a premium hatchback.
Well, the S-Class is, I think, one of the best cars around here. Definitely, gone way higher than its competition. And the best part was, for me as a driver, such a huge car, a lot of weight, but it just handles like a dream, tons of power. So, I mean, I'm in complete love with it.
Such a fabulous car, the very pinnacle of motoring, whether it is luxury, whether it's performance, whether it's dynamics, whether it's ride quality, whether it's convenience, whether it's features, whether it's design, style, you name it. The S-Class has really changed what luxury cars should be for the years to come ahead.
What can you say about the S-Class? Mercedes has taken it to the next level or to the next level. I think the competition is going to take about 5 years to catch up to what they've done in the S-Class.
The way you get pampered in the rear seat, you can't compare it to any other car right now on sale in India. And the features and the entire feel inside makes you feel like a king.
Coming up, all the SUVs and MUVs nominated for the Car of the Year award. Welcome back, you're watching the jury round of the 2015 CNBC TV 18 Overdrive Awards. Now let's take a look at some of the SUVs and the MUVs nominated for this year's Car of the Year award.
The new Scorpio seems all new design, but it's actually the same old body with a new face and a rear end. In terms of dynamics, the new Scorpio gets an all new revised suspension, different springs, and that really helps in terms of ride quality. It's improved, it's not as bumpy as the previous car, and that's a positive coming from Mahindra. Also, in terms of features, the Scorpio's always offered something first in its segment, and this new Scorpio takes that further.
Well, the Scorpio again is a very controversial design, I would say. But a lot of people like it, a lot of people don't like it. Some say they've got a lot of Korean influence with the design. Some people think that it looks a lot Japanese. But again, it's been a car that has helped Mahindra, get maximum sales and put them right on the top.
I was just sitting in the back of the Scorpio. The seating is high. There was a lot of headroom up there, excessive I felt, which means the vehicle is so much taller than other SUVs. This one has got a lot more ground clearance than the Mahindra Scorpio, but the Mahindra Scorpio is so tall. And this compromises what, in my opinion, is its driving dynamics. It tends to roll a lot more.
So the new Santa Fe is again a great design. I think it's a big step up from the previous generation of the Hyundai designs that we've seen. I love the way it looks. It's very American looking car, that's what I think, and I think that it drives pretty well too.
Every new vehicle that's coming almost from Hyundai is a huge leap forward. I like the style very much. Eye-catching, has lots of presence on the road. Interiors are nice, space is good. I like the flex rear feature, very nice, innovative. Overall, again, a good car.
A lot of comfort in the Santa Fe, but if you look at the pricing, I find it a little steep, and its competition would be the Fortuner or the Ford Endeavour. And definitely the Fortuner, as far as after sales and the brand of Toyota would definitely win over the Santa Fe at the moment here, as far as I'm concerned.
Overall, full marks to it on driving dynamics.
Coming with the all-wheel drive, again a fantastic move from Renault. Great car to drive, very drivable. Total height of the car is pretty low, but it had a 210, I think, ground clearance. So something which the approach angles and the exit angles in the all-wheel drive are similar to the two-wheel drive, but again, a fantastic car to drive. The engine is quite responsive once you get it off the block.
The Renault Duster, I've always liked this machine. In its all-wheel drive avatar, I like it even more. Very good driving dynamics, excellent space, very car-like, and also has great ground clearance. I mean, overall, as an all-round package, it's a car that I really like. I call it a car, not an SUV, because it drives like a car.
The Honda Mobilio, again, fantastic car. It's a car that you want to look at a second time when it's going on the road.
Honda has been a benchmark when it comes to space packaging, and the Mobilio takes that forward. A lot of space, especially for 6 passengers. The third row could have been a lot more spacious, but then considering the overall length of the car and the size, I think the Mobilio does a good job in terms of space.
It's got an engine which could have had a little more power, but everything else apart from that I think is absolutely perfect, and it's a great package.
The Enjoy, I'm pretty disappointed as such as far as the finish is concerned. The interiors are not anywhere patched near the Innova, or the driving comfort as well. So basically it's just maybe 10% better than the Tavera they had.
The Chevrolet Enjoy uses the proven multi-jet engine which is seen in various other cars in India. But the gearbox doesn't really fit well with the car, so it doesn't slot in really well, and I think Chevrolet should do a better job in terms of the transmission used and tune it better to the engine. For the price you pay, the car offers a lot more space, and in its segment, though the other cars offer better dynamics and it's a better quality.
So those were the nominees slugging it out for one of the most prestigious awards in the country today, the CNBC TV18 Overdrive Car of the Year Award. I'm going to say goodbye to you right here, but coming up next week, we've got Shumi who will introduce you to the nominees for the Motorcycle and Scooter of the Year Award category.